Metric conversions are a special case of conversions, and they're in fact the easiest case of conversions. This is because all of the factors are multiples of 10. Here is a list of the conversion factors, or rather the prefixes which give you the conversion factors. Many people get very frustrated and confused by metric units. I find this somewhat mind-boggling because I would much rather deal with 1,000 of these is one of these than, say, feet to miles, where 5,280 feet is a mile, or 12 inches is a foot. These are numbers that just they don't line up. The math is not very straightforward. With metric conversions, we are always simply moving our decimal one way or the other. We're adding zeros or taking away zeros. So the first step to being able to do metric conversions is memorizing your prefixes so that you know what they mean. I'm going to start this with mega. There are others. Some of them we don't use very frequently, like hecto. Deca is somewhat common in Europe, but we don't see it that often in the US. Deci is another one that you'll see sometimes in Europe, but not so much in the US, where centi and milli get used all of the time. Micro is fairly common in physics, and oftentimes when we get to larger scale things, mega and even giga come into play. And you would have heard these when talking about computers. A single file might be kilobytes or megabytes, where your hard drive is measured in either giga or terabytes. Your processor runs at megahertz. These are terms that have become part of the vernacular, and we should really make the connection to see what they mean. So to run down the list here, giga means 10 to the 9, which is to say 1 followed by 9 zeros, which is, so there's 100, 1,000, 100 million, billion, a billion. Giga equals to 1 billion. Much simpler to write 1 instead of 1 billion. Mega is 10 to the 6, which is to say 1 million. Kilo, 10 to the 3, which is to say 1,000. Hecto is 10 to the 2, which is 100. Deca, 10 to the 1, which is 10. Unit, literally the word unit means 1. It means 1. It is simply a synonym for the word. Unit means 1. Deci, you should notice a pattern here. 9, 6, 3, 2, 1. We're going to march it right back up the other way. Deci is 10 to the negative 1, which is 1/10, which is 0.1. Centi, 10 to the negative 2, which is 1 over 100, 1/100th. Milli, 10 to the negative 3, which is 1/1000th. Micro, 10 to the negative 6, which is 1/1,000,000th. Not going to bother writing that out. At this point, scientific notation kicks in. There's no reason to write out numbers like that. So here are the conversions. They need to be memorized. There aren't that many of them. It'll be fine. When we then go to actually do the conversions, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to start with what should be very familiar from your chemistry class. We're going to do this conversion. So we're going to start out with our 1,520 centimeters. I'm going to form this little grid. First, I'm going to go back to my base unit. I need to get rid of centimeters, get to meters. I'm then going to go to my final answer, kilometers to meters. Hopefully this is not the first time you've ever seen something like this. I'm now going to reference my conversion factors to set this up. My unit is 1. Centi means, well,